Hello and welcome to Happy Handicrafts. My name is Joanna and today we are going to be making a Paper Sloyd box with a cover. Now if you've been following along with us, you'll know that we're working through the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. We're now in the third year and we're working on the 11th model today. We make this project in two parts. We're first going to make the bottom of the box and then we'll make the cover. It comes together fairly quickly. It's fairly easy to do, so stick with us. Let's get started. The materials you're going to need for this project are first the book, Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades. If you don't have it already, I'll put a couple links below, one for you to buy the book, or if you'd rather not buy it, you can download it for free online. You will need it for the diagrams though. They definitely help. You'll also need a cutting mat, an X-Acto knife, a pencil, a ruler, some glue, and some good quality paper. The book suggests using Bristol board because of its firmness. It just makes a more solid box. We are using a colorful 12-inch by 12-inch piece of scrapbook paper. It's made of fairly high quality, so it's about as firm as Bristol board. So we're going to get started by making the bottom of the box. We're first going to make our rectangle, so we're going to measure in from the left at the top to 5 7/8 of an inch. And we'll draw a dot. Then we'll move the ruler down to about halfway down our 12-inch piece of paper, and we'll measure in just 5 7/8 of an inch again. Once you draw your dot, you're going to use your ruler to join those two dots with a line. Now we're going to measure down from the top on the left-hand side to 4.5 inches. And then we'll draw a dot. And we'll move our ruler over to the other line we drew, our vertical line. We'll measure down from the top to 4.5 inches and we'll make our dot again. Next, we'll use our ruler to join those two dots horizontally with a line. Now you can use your X-Acto knife to cut out the rectangle we just outlined. You can either do this freehand or you can use a ruler to help guide your cut. Today, Lucy's choosing to use a ruler. If there's any uncut piece, you can just use your X-Acto knife to go over that area. And now you have a rectangle. So place the rectangle horizontally, this is important, and we're going to measure along the top and put a dot at 1 inch and 4 7/8 of an inch. And now we'll do the same along the bottom. We're going to measure from the left, and we'll put a dot at the 1-inch mark and at 4 7/8 of an inch. Now we're going to use the ruler to join our 1-inch dots with a dotted line. And then do the same with the 4 7/8 of an inch dots. Place the ruler alongside them and you can draw a dotted line. Then we're going to place dots along the right side. We're going to measure down from the top and put dots at 1 inch and 3.5 inches. And then we're going to do the same on the right hand side. We'll measure down from the top and we'll put dots at 1 inch and 3.5 inches. Now using your ruler, you're going to join the 1-inch dots with a line. And then join the 3.5-inch dots with another line. Now we're going to measure along the top and put dots at the 1/2-inch mark and the 5 3/8 of an inch mark. And then we'll do it again at the bottom. We'll measure in from the left and we'll put a dot at the 1/2-inch mark and another dot at the 5 3/8 of an inch. Now place your ruler as though you're going to draw a line connecting those dots, but you're only going to draw lines across the narrow spaces as you see Lucy doing here, from the edge to the horizontal lines. And do the same on the right. Now you're going to use our X-Acto knife to cut out the corners of the box. There's very little cutting in this step. Now once you're finished your cutting, you're going to do your folds. If you know us by now, you know we use a ruler to do it the first time just to give us a straighter edge. We'll come back later on and reinforce these folds. Now we just use the front part of the ruler to kind of reinforce each fold that we made. This just makes it a lot easier to get a nice, crisp, and accurate final product. Once you finish your folds, you're just going to use the glue to glue the tabs. You're going to fold them in. We like to do 2 at once. It just goes faster and it's quite simple. And then fold the tabs onto the inside and hold them in place until the glue sets. Once the glue is set, we'll do the other side. So once again, you're going to fold those little tabs in, put glue on them on the outside, and you're going to fold the end in onto those tabs and hold it nice and firmly until it's set. And there is the bottom part of our box. So now we're going to do the top part, the cover. So we're going to use the same paper that we had started with, where we'd already cut that area out. So we're going to start by making another rectangle. We're going to measure in. You can actually measure in from the left or the right, but we're going to measure in from the left to 5.5 inches along the top, and we're going to draw our dot. And then we'll move the ruler down a bit and we'll measure in again from 5.5 inches. And we'll draw a dot. Use your ruler to join those 2 dots with a line. Then we're going to measure down from the top on the left to 4 1/8 of an inch. Not quite as big as the other one. And then along our previously drawn vertical line, we'll measure down again to 4 1/8. And then we'll join those 2 dots with our ruler. Now you can use your X-Acto knife once again to cut out this rectangle. Now you're going to place your rectangle horizontally once again, and we're going to measure along the top in from the left, and we'll place dots at the 3/4 inch mark and the 4 3/4 inches. Then we'll do the same along the bottom. Measure in from the left, put a dot at 3/4 of an inch and 4 3/4 of an inch. Then use your ruler to join your dots. We're making dotted lines as seen in the diagram. Next, we're going to measure along the left-hand side down from the top, and we're going to put a dot at 3/4 of an inch and 3 3/8 of an inch. And now we'll do the same on the right-hand side. We'll measure down from the top. And we'll put a dot at 3/4 of an inch and 3 3/8 of an inch. Now we'll use our ruler to join those dots in 2 horizontal lines. Now it gets a little different from the bottom part of the box. We're going to measure along the top and we're going to place dots. You want to put these dots right at the edge at 3/8 of an inch, 2 1/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches, 3 1/4 inch, and 5 1/8 of an inch. Now you're going to do the same along the bottom. We're going to place dots at 3/8 of an inch, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, nope, 3/4. It's hard. This can get complicated. You've got to really stay focused. 3 1/4 of an inch and 5 1/8 of an inch. Now you're going to hold the ruler at the first set of dots, that's at the 3/8 of an inch. And you're going to draw lines from the horizontal line to the edge, just like you see Lucy doing. Now do the same with the last set of dots you did. Hold the ruler there and draw lines from the edge just to the horizontal line and from the horizontal line to the edge. Perfect. Now you're going to hold your ruler on the middle set of dots and you're going to just draw a dot at 3/8 of an inch and then at 3 3/4 of an inch. Now from those dots that you just drew, you're going to join them to the other dots on the edge that you drew before. Watch Lucy here and this will give you a little bit better idea since I know I'm not describing it very well. You're making a little V along the edge. You see that? And now do it along the bottom as well. Now you're going to use your X-Acto knife to cut out this cover, box cover. There's not a lot of cutting with this project, but you just want to make sure that you're cutting out those tabs correctly. Once you got all those little corners done, you can cut out the V's. It literally jumped away from us. Now you're going to use your ruler to do those initial folds. Make sure you get all the tabs. Once you're done all the folds, you just use the back of your ruler or something fairly flat and firm to reinforce the folds. Once your folds are done, we're just going to glue the tabs just like we did with the bottom part of the box. You're going to fold those tabs in, put some glue on it, and hold it till the glue sets. Then we'll do the other side. Just fold those end tabs in, put some glue on them, and fold them, making sure they're on the inside, and hold them until the glue sets. So there's our top. You can see how nice it is, and we have a bottom. The top fits over that bottom part just perfectly. Don't you love it? It's so cute. I don't know what we're going to use ours for, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. So thank you for following us, and thank you for crafting along with us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Let us know in the comments what you're going to do with your box. We'll see you in the next video.